Hi guys, so here we are after reading chapter 14 of the book of Matthew, and now it's time to review. But wait, we're already halfway.
So if you made it this far with us on these videos and just reading through the book of Matthew, you can make it the rest of the way.
Yes, it should be easy from here.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yes. Okay, so getting right into it.
So what spoke to you?
The typical story of Jesus walking on water and Peter walking on water is what stood out to me.
That's one of the stories I highlighted it too.
Yeah, because I feel like it's so important to our Christian walk. It's just a good story to help teach us a lesson. And so we're reading about around verse 22. Jesus went off to pray on a hill, and it's nighttime already, and the disciples are out in the water, and it's dark since it's night, and the wind starts picking up, and so they start kind of struggling with the waves. And then out of nowhere they see a figure walking towards them on the water, and they think it's a ghost. They start crying out, and
I would, if I saw that, I would panic.
Yeah, of course, because up until that point they hadn't seen Jesus walk on water, and it was dark, windy, the waves were hitting the boat.
A recipe for a horror movie, right?
I mean, pretty much. And then you see someone walking on water towards them, and so you can't really make out the figure. It's just a figure, and it turns out to be Jesus. In verse 27, Jesus says, "Don't be afraid, take courage, I am here." And then Peter calls out to him and he says, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water." And Jesus says, "Yes, come." And so Peter gets out of the boat and he starts walking on water. And I can imagine that he was like super excited because this is something that's so unreal. And he's looking at Jesus and he's walking out there. But then what happens? Then the storm, the waves, it gets probably louder, and he sees all this and he gets terrified, and he takes his eyes off of Jesus and he starts focusing on all the trouble that's going on around him and how that could affect him, and he starts sinking and he's afraid and he shouts, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus reached out and grabbed him, and he said, "You have so little faith. Why did you doubt me?" And so to me, it's just a really good illustration of how we should really keep our eyes focused on Jesus. No matter what's happening around us, no matter what is going on, we should keep our focus on Jesus, because he is the only one that can help us walk on water, so to speak. So that's...
And I like that word that it uses when it says immediately Jesus was there. And it kind of reminds us that if we are, whatever we're going through, that Jesus immediately is there for us. It's not like there's a delay. God is always there. He's always ready to grab our hand when we're sinking.
We just have to cry out to him. How about for you?
So for me, there's a few things, but I decided to go with the last verse, or the last few verses in the book of Matthew, which are verses 35 through 36. And it says, "And when the men of that place recognized him, they sent out into all that surrounding region, brought to him all who were sick, and begged him that they might only touch the hem of his garment. And as many as touched it were made perfectly well." And just this idea of those who were sick just getting so near to Jesus and just touching the hem, just like the little string that was hanging off his coat or his cloak or his clothes that he was wearing, just to grab onto it and to be healed by it. I mean, that had to take faith on behalf of the person wanting healing. Just that little bit of Jesus. And it just tells me something too about the Christian life, that sometimes we think that God is so far off, but He's near to you right now. And if you just take hold of him, just a little of Jesus, just maybe that one verse, right? If that's all you have, is just that one verse in the book of Matthew chapter 14 that you're currently reading, right? That is something that could bring change in your life. You know, you don't have to spend hours and hours. Of course, we would like to spend hours in the Bible, but you don't have to do all these things to gain healing from God. God says that he's so near to us that just the hem of his garment could heal us. And it says that when they touched it, they were made perfectly well. And I like how it uses that word perfect. You know, they could have said they were made well, but it tells us that they were made complete. That something about Jesus made them complete. And hopefully we're halfway the rest of the way. As you're reading more about Jesus, it could complete you. You get to the point where you feel just by just reaching out to Jesus just a little bit could turn you into a better person, could allow you to love people better, and allow you to love God more.
So come on, you guys, you can do this. You can keep going. We're almost there. And then, you know, you can feel accomplished. So
remember to leave your comments below, and
we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
God bless.
Bye.